Understanding this will save you a lot of pain and suffering. A lot of anger and frustration won't have to be felt when you understand that every single person, every single one, is trying their absolute best. All of them want to be loving, all of them care, and all of them want what's best for them and just other people as well. They all do. And the only thing that gets in their way is ignorance or a lack of knowledge. And that's a lack of knowledge and insight, I should add. That's the only thing. And if they had that knowledge, if they had that insight, they would also be acting in a kind way, in a way that serves themselves and other people. But most of the time, we don't think like this. We think that people are being mean, evil, annoying on purpose. We think that they know what they need to do, but they're just not doing it because they just have this evil agenda and they're really like conscious of this evil agenda. We paint people to be these kind of malicious types. And that's why we feel angry. That's why we feel so frustrated when people let us down, in a sense. We have this expectation that they know what I know. They know that this isn't a good thing, but they're just choosing not to do it, or they're choosing to overlook it. And this is pretty crazy, but this just simply isn't the case. They would act in a way that is kind and considerate if they were more conscious, if they were less ignorant. And this is the case for every single person. And the extent to which someone is evil, mean, annoying, or whatnot, is the extent to which they are ignorant. But what does this mean? What's the point of understanding this? Once you understand this, you stop blaming people. You stop being a victim of your own life, of other people's decisions. And you start embracing the fact that everybody's kind of just like a lost little kid. They're all just fumbling around the world. Most of them don't know what the hell's going on. A lot of them put on a tough act and they put on this cold appearance, but it's mainly just because they're wounded and they feel pain internally and they're just afraid to face that pain. And when you really see this, you just can't blame people. You can't really expect anything from people. Like, you can't expect them to be these goody two-shoes ideas that you have in your head. Like, oh yeah, they're going to like respond in a emotionally intelligent way, or that they're going to like listen, or they're not going to be selfish or narcissistic. You stop having these expectations, almost in the same way that a good mother doesn't have expectations over their kids. Like, if their kid starts crying, the mother's not going to be like, why are you crying? Like, obviously a lot of mothers do actually do that, which is a shame, but a good mother's not going to be like, why are you crying? And just getting mad at the kid for crying. It's a kid. Kids cry. And in the same way, human beings act selfishly from ignorance. And they act in a way where they're not necessarily emotionally intelligent at times. They can be kind of mean, a bit jarring, a bit crass. And that's okay, because that's normal. You don't expect anything else. And this frees you from so much pain. Because when you expect something, you're basically saying to the universe, okay, I'm expecting this from you. And I'm literally just like waiting to be proven otherwise, because the universe, like, and this isn't some cynical take, like, don't expect anything from anyone, like it's all hopeless. Like, it's really not a cynical take. It's basically that expectation is pointless or counterproductive simply because there's just an infinite number of ways situations can unfold. The universe, you can't expect things from the universe because the universe includes everything. So an expectation is like saying, okay, I just want the universe to be like this. But that's not how it works. The universe, the world around you has every single thing in it, all the different parts. Expectation is almost this illusory boundary you place on a given situation to try to control the direction of the universe. But that's, it's just not how it works. You have to be willing to accept all the different permutations of how things manifest. Everything is part of just this, whatever this is. And you have to accept all of those things. Or you don't have to, but that's basically how you can be free from suffering and how you can stop feeling so attached and emotionally swayed by all the different things that happen in reality, all the different things that people say to you, that people do. Once you don't have an expectation and once you accept it as just part of this whole thing, then you're not going to feel as affected and you're going to not lose your peace because you haven't displaced it onto this specific outcome. And recognizing people's inherent innocence is a big part of letting go of this expectation. Because once you recognize that innocence, it's very hard to expect things. Just think back to that example of a kid. It's hard to expect things from a little kid, like 3 years old, 4 years old. And at one point we're like, okay, yeah, they're adults, so we should start expecting things. But that boundary, again, is just completely like, when does a child turn into a kid? When does expectation become a real thing? Like, what is it when they're 12? Is it when they're 18? Is it when they're 21? When do you start expecting things from people? And it's all just a trap, basically. You should just never start. You should never start. And I think I need to give a disclaimer, because a lot of the time when people say stuff like, oh, don't expect anything from people. And I'm not this way, but I know I have a couple of friends that are like this, where there's a confusion between expectation and boundaries. You can set boundaries without expectation. I know that this sounds counterintuitive, but when I say, oh, you don't have expectations, some people might feel like, oh, if I don't have expectations, people are going to walk all over me. I'm not going to have any boundaries. But that's actually not the case. You can have preferences. You can tell someone, I need some distance, or I don't appreciate it when you talk to me that way, while not caring whether they talk to you or don't talk to you that way. It might sound kind of weird, but this is just what happens in practice. You can set that preference and then be emotionally, like, you still prefer it that way, but you're just not emotionally invested whether they follow through on the boundaries you set or they don't follow through. And that means that you don't become complacent at all. You still, if anything, it's even easier to set boundaries because you're not emotionally attached. You're just like, I'm just going to say this. It's not it doesn't feel like a big thing. It's just, you're naturally just expressing your preference and setting your boundaries. And so, yeah, that's a really key point to include there. Complacency or lack of expectations or not having expectations does not equal complacency. But yeah, that's about it from this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. And if you'd like more help with finding what you want to do in life, having a life purpose and waking up excited to get to work, you can check out the first link in the description. And if you want to join a free community of people who are dedicated to mastery, spirituality, and reducing collective suffering in a meaningful way with action, you can click the second link in the description. Thank you for watching. And for now, peace and love.